Dear friends, we have started with void agreements yesterday, and if we talk about the void agreements, so we are, we have discussed it that the agreements which miss certain kind of, we can say the basic requirement or the essential element which is required for the enforceability by law, these agreements cannot be enforced by law as per the Indian Contract Act. So there are two situations. One is that there is a legal defect in the particular situation. So in that case, it cannot be enforced by law, or where this particular agreement is expressly declared void. That is, this particular agreement is covered in the list where the law Indian Contract Act says कि ये agreements जो हैं ये आपके enforceable by law नहीं होंगे. So in first category legal defect we have discussed yesterday कि there is a certain kind of object is unlawful, consideration is unlawful, agreement with incapable person, agreement without consideration, or if there is no consensus or bilateral mistake, etc., then it is not going to be enforced by law. In second category, we have discussed that agreements expressly declared void. So therein we have discussed about the agreement in restraint of marriage, wherein we have discussed the exceptions. Then we have discussed about agreements in restraint of trade. There we have discussed the exceptions, and then we have discussed about the agreement in restraint of legal proceedings, and we have discussed the exceptions as well. Then after that, we have talked about the agreements with uncertain meaning. So if there is uncertainty or the particular terms of the agreements are vague, not clear, or the subject matter is not clear, then these agreements cannot be enforced in the court of law. Then after that, we are about to start with the contingent contract. So if we talk about these agreements, so in this case, in case of agreement in restraint of marriage, we have also one discussed agreement curtailing the period of limitation. So this is also going to be void, because if we are curtailing the period of limitation, so it means we are going or we are defeating the provisions of the law. Then we have discussed all these things. Just let me see that if we have covered all the points, etc. Right. So we have up till now covered until uncertain agreements. Now we come to the wagering agreements. My dear friends, when we talk about the wagering agreements are those agreements which are in terms of a speculation transaction, which are in terms of the happening or non happening of the event is dependent on some future uncertain event. But when, as per law, we talk about wagering agreements, these are declared void. These are not declared as the valid agreements. So, if we talk about the wagering agreements, so there are certain prerequisites which says that the speculation transactions are there, betting agreements are there. So, in this particular case, the feature is that one party is going to win, right? And in this particular case, money or money's worth is being involved, and the happening or non happening is dependent on future uncertain event. Dependent on, yes, beta, future uncertain
मैम
event.
मैं ये पूछना चाह रहा था कि जैसे आजकल ऐप्स बहुत चल रहे हैं मैम, जैसे क्रिकेट
Hmm.
पे बेटिंग और
Hmm.
बाकी
Hmm.
कार्ड्स का तो चलता ही रहता है। तो मैम ये फिर क्या लीगल है या इलीगल है? जैसे
These
ये
are not,
मतलब
these
बहुत
are
प्रमोशन हो रही है खुली
no, no.
एक।
If we talk about these kind of, apps or these kind of games, etc. So in this case, if there is a certain, exceptions to the rule, कि अगर आप अपनी इंटेलिजेंस से और किसी कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम और कंपटीशन में अपीयर करते हो, तो अप टिल 1000 इज कंसिडर्ड एज वैलिड. तो उस केस के अंदर वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट द एक्सेप्शंस इन दिस क्लास ओनली, कि किस सिचुएशन में जो आपके ये अग्रीमेंट्स हैं वो वैलिड होते हैं, एंड इट डिफर्स फ्रॉम one state to other state, and one country to other country, that this gambling or these kind of activities under certain law, these are permissible in certain circumstances, and these are not permissible. But as a basic nature, or as a one go, as we discuss in case of minors, कि माइनर्स के साथ आपका जो अग्रीमेंट है वो void ab initio है, right? लेकिन in certain situation where minor is being provided with the necessity, or the particular agreement is for the benefit of the minor, तो वो वहां पर valid हो जाएगा. So when we talk about the wagering agreement, तो इसका basic requirement यही होती है कि ये promise जो है आपका, it is about the money, कि no other interest, इवेंट में आपका कोई और इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, लेकिन आपका इक्वल चांसेस हैं आपके विन और लूज करने के. तो उस केस के अंदर सेक्शन 30 कहता है कि वेजरिंग अग्रीमेंट आपका वॉइड है, और आपका इमीडिएट पार्टीज के अंदर वो आप उसको वी कैन कैन नॉट कंपेल. लेकिन अगर हम आगे बात करेंगे लॉटरी ट्रांजेक्शन्स की या क्रॉसवर्ड पजल्स एंड कॉम्पिटिशन्स की, तो अगर आपका प्राइज मनी 1000 से एक्सीड नहीं करता, और उसमें आपका स्किल और गेम ऑफ स्किल और योर टैलेंट इज बीइंग इन्वॉल्व, तो उस केस के अंदर आपका टिल 1000 जो है वो आपका वैलिड होता है. बट इन केस ऑफ अदर ट्रांजेक्शन्स, दीज आर कंसिडर्ड एज वॉइड. लेकिन कुछ ट्रांजेक्शन्स जो हैं लगती हैं वो हमारी वेजरिंग ट्रांजेक्शन्स हैं, लेकिन उसके अंदर सपोज we talk about the commercial transactions, share market transactions, or we talk about the contract of insurance, all these considered as the valid ones. So there are certain exceptions, but as per its phase or as per the law, wagering agreements are considered as void agreement, right?
All right,
So
ma'am.
we'll move further and we'll discuss all the exceptional situations as well, right? So let's move further. 1 second. So first thing is that when we talk about the meaning of wagering agreements, so the meaning of wagering agreement says that there is the promise wherein an agreement by one party with the other, that if certain future uncertain event happens, then one person is going to win and the other person is going to lose. So it's kind of a betting agreement. For example, A says to B that I will pay you 1000 rupees if it rains today, right? Now in this particular case, and if it doesn't rain today, you are going to pay me 1000 rupees. तो अगर आप लॉ के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से देखो, तो एक पार्टी विन कर रही है, एक पार्टी लूज कर रही है. सो देयर इज नो कंसिडरेशन इन रिटर्न ऑफ द प्रॉमिस. तो उसके अंदर तो वैसे ही फ्लॉ आ गया ना, कि ओनली वन पार्टी इज बीइंग बेनिफिटेड, राइट? तो उस सिचुएशन के अंदर अगर हम लॉजिकली भी उस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से देखें, तो ये एनफोर्सेबल बाय लॉ नहीं होगा. बट व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट द मीनिंग, so we say that the transactions are the particular subject matter of the contract agreement is such that it talks about promise to pay money or money's worth to the other party. It talks about uncertain event on which the happening or non-happening of the particular contract is dependent upon. Then there are mutual chances of gain or lose, because you should not have the control over the event. If you're talking about certain game or certain things and you do not have the possibility, the other person is controlling the event, so that is not considered as wager. तो जहां पर हम वेजरिंग ट्रांजेक्शन या प्रॉमिस की बात करते हैं, तो वहां पे इक्वल चांसेस होने चाहिए, और आपका ना तो उस इवेंट के ऊपर कंट्रोल होना चाहिए और ना ही आपका कोई इंटरेस्ट होना चाहिए उस इवेंट के अंदर. Right? So in this case, no interest in the event or any other stake. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए that if the shipment arrives, I will pay you 5000 rupees. But अगर वो shipment आ जाती है, तो उस particular situation के अंदर आपका जो उस shipment से आपकी consignment और आपका आगे जो आपने transaction करनी है, you are dependent on that. तो उस particular event के happening में आपका कोई और stake या कोई और interest नहीं होना चाहिए. Then, when we talk about the exceptions we'll discuss just now. First, let me explain. If we talk about the meaning of wagering agreement, I hope it is clear. If we talk about the legal provisions. So legal provision says that the wagering agreements are void agreements. Void agreements means these cannot be enforceable by law, but as per the meaning, it should satisfy all the conditions, right? Then after that, if we talk about the requirement, or if we talk about the legal effects, that whether it is enforceable, or there are any kind of exceptions of this particular situation, then in that case we have to go by a situation that if we talk about void agreement, so as per section 30, the wagering agreement at its face are void. And in this case, if there is a winner of the agreement, or if there is, even you have a bet, A has promised to pay 1000 rupees if it rains today, and if it rains and he has not paid you 1000 rupees, you cannot go to court of law and can claim that 1000 rupees, that you have promised to pay me that 1000 rupees, so you are bound. So Indian Contract Act will not give you the rise will not give you the right to have any legal obligation or legal performance in this particular situation. Then after that, in a particular situation, it is unenforceable by law and forbidden by law, because wager, if we talk about, is not unlawful. Under section 23 of the Contract Act, the transaction to collateral to main transaction are enforceable. For example, that if there are certain related transactions, so these related transactions, if these are not affected by wager, or these are separable, then these can be enforceable. For example, one consignment is due and is about to come. Now, on the basis of this thing, for this particular assignment, for this particular consignment, you have taken some loan, and this loan is to be repaid once this particular consignment arrives and you deliver the goods to the party, right? But along with this, there is a bet between A and B, that if the consignment arrives, then in that case he is going to pay you 1000 rupees. Now, in this particular consignment, the interest is कि consignment आएगी and loan repayment होगी. So this particular situation is not wager. Reason is that the party have the interest in the happening of event. In the happening of event. So in this case, the other transaction cannot be considered as invalid, or cannot be considered as not performance, because it does not exist as a wager. Another example can be that if there is, for example, A enters into an agreement that there is a bet between A and B, and later on B turns out to be loser, or he has lost the bet. Then A borrows money. A enters into a betting agreement with B, and later on A turned out to be loser. So A borrowed money from C. Now in this case, this is a collateral transaction. अब A ने जो money borrow करी है C से, ये आपकी separate transaction है, and this is going to be enforceable, right? तो उस सिचुएशन में, इन बोथ द सिचुएशन वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड कि अगर एक सिचुएशन आपकी कोलेट्रल ट्रांजैक्शन है, बट आपकी वो वेजर के फॉर्म में एग्जिस्ट नहीं करती है, then it will not be enforced, it will not have any impact of the void agreement. But if there is any collateral transaction which is related, and which is basically for the performance of the wagering transaction, and these two transactions are separable, then in that case the transaction which is collateral, this is going to be valid, C has the right to take the money back from A, whether he has taken the money to make a payment to B in case of he lost the bet, or for any other reason. It does not matter. But in that particular case, the transaction between A and C is going to be the valid one, right? Any doubts up till now? Yes.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Then, in continuation, let's discuss the situations that there are certain, we can say, the circumstances or certain transactions which looks like wager. Because in that case also, if we talk about, say for example, we talk about the lottery transaction. So lottery transaction में क्या होगा? There is one party is going to win, the other party is going to lose, right? Then there is going to be the promise with respect to the money or money's worth. In this case, this dependent upon the uncertain event that the particular transaction is going to happen, or the lottery will be withdrawn, and on the basis of the lottery system, this is going to be what we call it, the person is going to be, the winner is going to be decided. It is dependent upon happening or selection or your number, etc., which is coming. And if we talk about, if we say that there are we talk about the government requirement. So in that case, if the lottery is sanctioned by government, then it is a wagering even if the lottery is sanctioned by the government of India, it is a wagering transaction. But the only thing is that the person responsible for the running lottery will not be punished under IPC. Lotteries are illegal, and even collateral transaction to it are tainted with illegality, and this is given in section 294A of Indian Penal Code. So these are not considered as the valid transaction because it exists in a wagering, or it exists in the form of a gambling. So these lottery transactions are not there. But if you ask me, one situation that where we are using the lottery system as a matter of, we can say, process of selection certain things, then in that case, there can be the possibility that we adopt that process of selection. For example, in case of certain admissions or certain course of action, lottery system is taken as the one of the choice, right? So in that case, this lottery system is accepted by the parties, and the result of that lottery is taken into account. For example, in the schools also, the admission happen. So, but there, we this lottery is the process of selection. It is not in the nature of wager. It is not talking about the money's worth, or one party is going to win and the other party is going to lose. So there, this is going to be valid because it does not exist as a nature of wager, right? This question I was expecting from your side actually. Okay, up till now it is clear that how the lottery transactions are considered as wager and void.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now in continuation, let's move to the other situation, which is crossword puzzles and competitions. Now, in this particular case, if there are any kind of crossword puzzles and competition where you are using your skill and judgment, etc., and in that case, the money's worth is up to 1000, it is valid. 1000 rupees, right? So, in this particular situation, as per Prize Competition Act 1955, the prize, if there are any kind of skill judgment, it is in terms of the crossword, puzzles, or competition, and money's worth does not exceed 1000. So, these transactions are not regarded as wager. So this become one of the exception. So we can say that this is the one of the exception, that these transactions are not covered. Now the I think Utkarsh have raised the question of these apps and games.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now in this case, if the you are entering into any of the game and you are winning the game, and it is the money's worth is not more than 1,000 rupees in a transaction, then it's valid. Otherwise, if you're talking about the other games or apps, so these are not valid as per law, right? So
Okay,
if
ma'am.
yeah, right, if it is dependent on your
मैम
skill
क्योंकि
judgment.
हाँ जी मैम, बेटिंग या गैम्बलिंग, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल वी टॉक अबाउट बेटिंग ऑन क्रिकेट,
हाँ हाँ
तो
हाँ,
इसमें तो स्किल कुछ कर ही नहीं सकती.
this is
आई
this
डोंट
is
थिंक सो.
wager, this is wager, and this is not valid.
हम्म.
Even
ओके.
some series was there. I was watching last week or last to last
Inside Edge.
week. Sorry,
इनसाइड एज.
हाँ,
इनसाइड एज.
Inside.
yeah. So उसमें भी this is a gambling, ना? This is not valid. You must have seen the transactions and how the things are moving. So वो gambling transactions सारा वो sort of behind or without the provisions of law चल रहा है ना? तो वो सारा आप valid कहोगे उसको? Will you
नहीं
consider
मैम.
that
लेकिन
valid? So it
एप्स
is.
लाइक ड्रीम इलेवन तो लीगल है ना?
Hmm. No, I have to check. I have to check. इसमें अगर वो ट्रांजैक्शन वेजरिंग के फॉर्म में एग्जिस्ट कर रही है और वो एक्सेप्शन में नहीं आ रही, तो वो इलीगल होगी.
मैम
Then
बट हो नहीं सकती, क्योंकि ना उसको एंडोर्स जो करते हैं वो बीसीसीआई का प्रेसिडेंट ही है, सौरव
that
गांगुली.
that we have
तो
to check.
मैम वो
पता
If
नहीं
you,
अब
लीगल है
क्या
मैम,
है.
वो कोर्ट केस हुआ था, वो केस जीत गई है.
okay, you have to then there is that if you talk about that there was a court case and the decision was in the favor, so it means that there has must have been dispute with respect to that whether the particular transaction exists in the form of a wager or it is not wager, right? So then any one of you can discuss the case law, bring the details of this particular case, and we'll discuss in the next class, right?
Okay,
You
ma'am.
can make a group, or two of you can
ओके मैम.
find out the information and we'll discuss, right? Okay. So after that, there comes the horse race transactions. So if we talk about the horse race transaction, तो अगर आपकी प्राइज मनी 500 से कम है तो वो वैलिड है, अदरवाइज इट इज नॉट वैलिड. ठीक है. However, we say that if we contribute for any sum of money more than 500 or above, or it's been awarded, so in this case this is not valid, this is not applicable, right? Then there are we say the exceptions, or the situation that transaction looks like the wagering agreements, but these are considered as valid by law. So these situations will come under exceptions. तो इसमें exceptions में हमने एक तो skill and judgment वाला किया जिसमें 1,000 रुपीज तक था. दूसरा हमने horse race competition का किया जिसमें आपका 500 तक का था. Then in that case another exception can be in form of chit fund. So we must have seen that there are certain parties which are, making kitties or the chit funds, or for a specific time period they contribute a amount, and they, at the end of the month amount so contributed will be given as a lucky winner or lucky draw, etc. So all these are considered as exception. These are not regarded as a wager. So the lucky draw, even the example of admissions on the basis of that lottery system I have told you. Then if there are if we talk about the stock market or share market transactions, so in share market transactions we are aware of that, whether we talk about the futures, we talk about derivatives, we talk about the stock market, or even we are talking about the uh,
कमोडिटीज.
commodities, all these are considered as valid, and these are not regarded as wager. But if we up till now, if we talk about the Bitcoin or we talk about the cryptocurrencies, uh, am I right using the right word?
यस मैम.
यस मैम.
Right. So these
यस
are
मैम.
Yes.
in certain countries these are considered as valid, and in certain
लीगल
countries
टेंडर.
these are not considered. Right. So you can study that which of the transactions are considered as valid and in which countries these are not considered as valid, and how we can you can take it as an example, and it's going to add more value to your existing knowledge. Then about the this we have already discussed, games and competitions. Then there comes the contract of insurance. Now, when we use the word contract of insurance, so we move towards the contingent contracts. So, in this particular situation, we say actually, when I teach in the class, so we have big green boards and the white boards in the class. So even there, I have to rub the board 2 to 3 times in one lecture. So be it your practical paper or a theory paper, I have a very bad habit of writing each and everything. I don't know whether it is good for you people or not, but I normally, keep on writing and telling the things. So, fine. So now we move to contract of insurance. अब सबसे पहली बात तो वर्ड आ गया कि हमने यूज ही टर्म कॉन्ट्रैक्ट किया. तो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट का इटसेल्फ मीनिंग है एनफोर्सेबिलिटी बाय लॉ, right? Now, in this case, when we talk about the insurance, so in insurance, what happens? That first thing is that if we talk about the insurance, so there are two branches of insurance. One is general insurance, another one is life insurance. In general insurance, there comes all the related, and in life insurance, it comes a sort of contract of annuity where the amount is being deposited, and in case if some mishappening is there before the term period, the compensation will be given to the dependents, or if the particular term is over and the person is alive, then along with the interest, along with the annuity, that money worth is given to that particular person. In case of general insurance, what happens that in case of loss or in case of happening of certain event, actually it's uncertain, happening of uncertain future event, so this is performance is dependent on that. For example, you have paid the entered into the contract of insurance for your car. The compensation will be given if there is an accident, or there is loss to the car, or there is a theft of car, or which particular policy you have taken according to the insurance contract, right? But in all these circumstances, if you see, so it looks like a similar situation, that the happening or non-happening of the event is dependent on future uncertain event. There is one party is going to pay the money to the other party is not going to get anything in return, and the happening of the event is not sure. You do not have the control over the event. You do not have any interest in the happening of the event, that you would never want that the accident to your car or your car is being stolen by someone. So if you talk about the situation or the essentials, so it looks like that these are similar to the wagering agreements. But as per the General Insurance Act, as per the Life Insurance Act, these contract of insurance are considered valid and are enforceable by law. बट उसकी प्री रिक्विजिट क्या होती है कि जो भी आपकी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट की टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस हैं वो आपकी टर्म्स कंडीशंस फुलफिल होनी चाहिए. सो इट इज अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट जहां पर आपकी म्यूचुअल कंसिडरेशन एग्जिस्ट करती है. वेजरिंग में आपकी कंसिडरेशन नहीं होगी, बट यहाँ पर आपकी कंसिडरेशन एग्जिस्ट करती है. यू आर पेइंग अ प्रीमियम फॉर द सेम, and in return, on the happening or non-happening of that future uncertain event, the contract will be performed. In case of life insurance, अगर वो happening है तब भी perform होगा, और अगर वो non-happening है but on the expiry of the particular term, तब भी perform होगा. But in case of general insurance, it will be performed if that particular uncertain event happens. So there is the situation, or the essentials are more or less like, we can say, the wagering agreement only. But this is valid, and this is recognized by law. In this case, one particular person promises to save the other from loss. So we'll in the special contracts, we will be discussing contracts of indemnity. तो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ऑफ indemnity जो अब हम डिस्कस करेंगे, indemnity, this is going to be the one example of the insurance contract. So what all about features of contract of indemnity, etc., we are going to discuss in the particular chapter itself. But as of now, you just have to understand that the basic features or the essentials of a insurance contract are similar to the wagering one, but these are considered as valid and these are enforceable by law. So in this situation, if there is a question with respect to that difference between the contract of insurance and the difference between the with the wagering agreements, so you can take out the points with respect to meaning, with respect to the legal effects, with respect to the subject matter, with respect to the consideration, with respect to the validity and example. So all the 6 pointers you can note down. So are you noting down these points? Will you be able to write the difference? Yes, are you keeping your notes with you, bache? Yes, no? When we talk about the contract of insurance and wagering agreements, so if we have to write the difference, so we can take the meaning of the both, we can take about the subject matter, we take about the essentials which are common and which are not common. We can take the legal provisions, legal effect of the same. We can talk about in the legal provisions, we can talk about the enforceability. We can talk about the consideration, right? And we can talk about the example. So if you have understood the meaning of both the terms well, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ऑफ इंश्योरेंस का मीनिंग भी आपको पता है, वेजरिंग अग्रीमेंट का भी आपको मीनिंग पता है, so you will be able to write all the differences, right? So shall I start with the contingent contract today, or you want that we can discuss in the next class?
मैम नेक्स्ट क्लास में कर लेंगे.
Okay, fine. Because as per when we started the class, I promised that today's class I am going to keep short. So we will be discussing in next class what all are contingent contracts, what are the situations which are covered in the contingent contract, and whether there are any effects or any requirement which is there, and how we differentiate the contingent contract with the wagering agreements. So I hope up till now, whatever we have discussed, you are comfortable with that, and we can take up the questions now. And any topic or any particular point, if you could not understand, we can discuss the same.